After talking to thousands of people over the last 7-8 years regarding property investment and home loan, I have uncovered few common traits where people think, oh, maybe this is the case, but it's completely not right, or people assume something which is wrong. So I'm going to share few takeaways which will be helpful if you are considering refinancing your property or even buying a property or taking a home loan in 2026. This video is going to be very, very useful. The first myth is people think if you are buying investment property, if you want to avoid LMI, you need 20% deposit. That's not quite right. These days, so many banks, they offer LMI waiver if for 15% deposit for investors. Some banks, they even have offers for 10% deposit. So if you have 10% deposit, you can still avoid LMI as an investor as well, not just the first home buyers. First home buyers can do with 5% deposit, and some first home buyers can even do with 2% deposit. No LMI, right? So for the investor, 10% as well possible as well. And that's why you need a really good team of brokers, buyers agent, accountant. Property investment is not just a one-man show. It's a team sport. So you need to have a good team to save you thousands of dollars. Then second myth is people think right now it's too risky. I will wait for the crash. Crash is going to happen. I've been hearing this story for last 20 years. And obviously there are some market correction happening, 2%, 5%, 10% downtime over the period and in some patches. But my personal belief is if people wait for the crash, they will wait for the lifetime. Because there is no such thing that you identify this is the right time to buy, you go and bought the perfect property, perfect time. It doesn't happen that way. So my personal rule is if I am ready, if bank is giving me the money, I will go and buy the property. Now, the real question is, where should you buy? So if you believe, for example, a lot of people last 3, 4, 5 years, a lot of people thought Melbourne was not the right time, not the right place. So obviously you can avoid that area. But doesn't mean that you cannot go and buy in Perth, you cannot go and buy in Brisbane. So many of my clients who bought it in Western Australia and Brisbane, they made so much money in last 5 years. But those who bought it in Melbourne, they did not gain anything, almost nothing. So the question is not, property is not one thing for all over Australia. It's a separate market segment, separate states. Even within the same state, there are so many areas, so many regions that perform well. So your job as an investor is either you spend so much time yourself or you hire an expert and you find the area that suits your need. Now, myth number 3 is interest rates are too high or interest rates going to go up. I will wait. Lot of people I see, they make decision based on the interest rate. For the short term, it may be okay, but long term, it does not really matter. What I mean by this is, if the interest rates are going low, reducing, many people think it's time to buy, they will go in the market, they will end up paying the higher price. If the interest rates are increasing, not many people will go in the market, people will back off, the competition is low. If you go at that time, there is a potential you can get a good price. So you make profit upfront. So my suggestion is don't wait for interest rate to go up or down. Don't make your decision solely based on the interest rate. It should be in your cash flow projection. If the rates go up 1%, 2%, 3%, can you afford it? If the rate go up by 3 or 4%, can you afford it? If the answer is yes, that's when you should go and buy the property, regardless if the rates are going up or down, because you know you have a capacity to hold. You know if something goes wrong, you have a buffer. And that time, not many people are buying in the market. So if you go that time, you can get a good price negotiation. And always try to buy below the market. You know, my philosophy is, if you make a profit right now, that's the best thing can happen to you. Instead of waiting for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, if you make a profit right now, that's the best thing can happen to you. Myth number 4 is, buy in your own city, buy in your neighborhood, the suburbs that you are familiar with. A lot of people until recently, they thought, okay, if I'm living in Sydney, I should only focus in Sydney because I only know about Sydney. But things have changed. Now the trend is going like all over Australia. People living in Sydney, they buy in Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, everywhere. So you should also be open to explore a lot of regional areas. People think regional areas, they're always down. A lot of people I talk to, they have some misconception about the regional areas. They think those areas will never go up. But if you look at the data, statistics, So a lot of regional areas, they outperform a lot of major city areas. So make your decision based on the data, not just the emotions, right? Myth number 5 is always brand new property is better than the old property, because maybe some people have heard some buyer's agent or seller's agent or property pundits. They're selling off the plan units, house and land packages, and they say, oh, this is brand new, you can claim depreciation, you can get this, you can get that. But my word of caution is, if you are entering into off the plan units, try to be very, very careful. I would say stay away from it. Unless you know it very, very well, you know the area, you know inside and out about the project, then it's okay. But if someone giving you presentation and showing you the facts and data saying why it should go up, rental, etc., don't get into that one, okay? Because I've seen a lot of people losing money over the period in off the plan apartment schemes. House and land, I have seen some people making money, and I have seen a lot of people losing money as well. The way it's like, if it's a brand new area, sometimes it takes years to build up the equity. You may not get a good rental in the beginning, right? Because a lot of supply, if you want to sell it after a year or two, the market is down. For example, Melbourne, so much oversupply happening because so much land available. So with the house and land package, there is always a risk of oversupply. So be very, very careful about that. For the established property, you are buying in established region. That means there is no way they can get so many houses all of a sudden in that area. That means you can almost certainly know that this is the rental you will probably get. If you happen to sell it in the future, there is no much competition because it's established property and not new land are releasing in that area. If you happen to get old property, chances are the land will be bigger. After 5, 10, 15 years, land will always appreciate, house will depreciate. If you get a new property, most of the new properties have small land size. So you also have to consider that part as well. So if you want to hold it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, or if you want to make quick money in 1 or 2 years, buy, build and sell, what is your game? You can make a decision accordingly. There is no right or wrong. It's just what you know, how well you are familiar with the process, and that's how you make a decision. Myth number 6 is all property are good. Everywhere you buy is good. No, it does not work that way. In general, some areas apartment perform better than houses in other areas. So it's not always that apartment does not perform well. Depends on the area. So in some areas, apartment does not grow at all for last 5 years. Some areas go down for last 3 to 5 years. Same with the houses, So don't just blindly follow any online blog or anything that says never buy apartment, never buy townhouse, always buy a house. No, it's not like that. You have to see the fundamentals of the area. What kind of people buy in the area, living in the area, renting in the area. What do they prefer? It's a lifestyle, or it's a commute, it's a infrastructure. What is there in the area that people like? And then according to that, you make a decision. If you think your budget is, let's say, $500,000, and you really want a house, you have to ask yourself a question: why do you want a house? If it grows up in the value, then you find a property. Even if you have to go regional, you should be open for regional areas. So don't just stick to one philosophy saying all the properties are good, all the suburbs will appreciate in the long term. No, it does not work that way. So be very, very careful. Don't stick to one philosophy. Be open for learning. The myth number 7 is, a lot of people, they think I can do everything myself. I'm the expert. Well, put it this way. If you want to buy one particular thing like a fridge or television or mobile, we spend so much time researching. We go to different shops and we do research comparison, and then we buy. But if you want to buy a $500,000 property, how much research do you do? How much qualification, how much expertise do you have? If you have time, skill and knowledge, definitely I recommend you can do it on your own. But people who do not have time or not the expertise or skill, they should consider hiring an expert. Building a team. I always believe property is a team sport. If you want to make money, you need to have an accountant, mortgage broker, buyer's agent in your team. Those are the really, really good players to help you build wealth. So if you don't have a time or skill, you can consider reaching out to us as a mortgage buyer's agent, and we are more than happy to help you build wealth through property. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Priyank Patel. Let me know in the comment below what you like about this video, and I'm more than happy to help. Thank you so much. See you next time.